What's going on, you beautiful people? And today I want to talk about the upcoming changes that are happening or have already happened. And they are big changes. They're coming in fast. They're hitting a lot of heroes, a lot of anticipated, unexpected. And yeah, I think we'll just start off with the DPS category and get straight into it. To start off with, we're going to look at Sojourn. All right. In the last video that I spoke to you, I was talking about the issues that I have with her. She's well-rounded, you know, and it seems that they've kind of addressed some of that by removing... I'm especially happy for this one. I hated this ability, by the way. But they got rid of the slow on her Disruptor shot, which I think is just such a massive thing because DPS shouldn't have crowd control. Let's go. On top of that, the cooldown nerf, yeah, it is what it is. It's 1 second. It's still an overpowered ability. And the primary fire, when her Rolex around, I don't know. This one, we'll see. I think she was originally meant to be a flanker playstyle, but we'll see if that changes too much. I think she's still going to be meta, or at the very least good. She's going to feel a lot more honest and fun to play against. Now, they did hit Tracer, and I think we could have expected this because they were talking about it. But it's cool. See, the first thing that came to my mind was when I was playing Tracer with the 5 damage pellets, you couldn't clip a turret, melee, recall, or clip a turret, melee, go get an HP pack, which meant that Torbjorn hard counter Tracer. It was the worst feeling in the world. Obviously, with the buff, she can now one clip and still melee and hit it. With her current numbers, she goes from, I believe, 220 plus melee is 250, which is the HP of a turret. So thank God, at least we have that. All right. So hang in there. I think it's pretty decent. I think she'll be in a pretty decent spot. I mean, it's literally a compromise. 6 is too much. 5 is too little. Here we are. We're happy. Now let's go into that buff that I am the most excited about, Ramatra. So I've been playing a lot of Ramatra. I've been grinding with my stream, doing these pickup games. We do customs, competitive rule set. So I got to grind him. No queue time, just boom, 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 grinding. So I've got to like really get to know him in and out. And they're giving my boy the strongest stat in any game, movement speed. And they're adding it to his Nemesis form. And top of having tankiness, which, you know, is pretty nice. He did feel a bit squishy at times. But what people might not be realizing is that Nemesis form gets activated when he ults, meaning that now he can keep stuck on top of you and you can't get away from him. So I think this is going to be kind of crazier than people might be imagining. The barrier cooldown reduction is good. I think that was an obvious one that needed to be tackled. However, I appreciated the long cooldown because it kind of gave the character really stand out weaknesses, strengths and weaknesses. So when they target off the things that make him weak, yeah, that makes sense. And I could be completely wrong on this philosophy, but maybe his weaknesses were at an okay level. We could target something else in his kit so that he's still, I don't know, like his left click, a little bit more damage to shield poke. That allows him to get closer, which means Nemesis form is more easy to get off. I don't know. Either way, I'm super excited. I really, really want to try this out. Grind him. When Calm comes out, I can't wait. Doomfist. Now, you guys know how I felt about buffing a character crazily, that's just a crazy amount. Right click specifically with the cooldown increasing from 3 to 4 seconds. The right click was considered, at least pre-buff in season 2, a mobility tool. I think once they added more damage and a stun to it, that kind of changed. But either way, it makes sense. It's so flexible, diverse, and once he's committed to a play, he is much more committed. On top of that, his power block. This is the identity. This is what makes his kit him. So by hurting that, that's a pretty big nerf in my eyes. The shields, I have no idea why they buffed that on top of everything else in his kit. So when I was playing him in season 1, I was like, wow, like this overheal from the shields is crazy. I love it. It lets me go nuts. So makes sense. Happy with that. Doesn't seem too crazy to me. Still playable. He seems to be in a good spot. Orisa, not somebody I expected to be seeing on here. Now, she's been seeing a bit more play in high elo since season 2, because I think she's really good into Doomfist. She's pretty good into Hog. So, you know, making her even stronger. And it's a pretty big buff. The Terror Surge, her ultimate, now pierces through barriers upon impact. Now, this means that Sigma, which was, I think, a pretty good matchup for Sigma, is a lot weaker. It's a big deal, by the way. She, in season 1, was picked a lot to counter Reinhardt, because she could just rush him down, do more damage, CC him back, keep him away from the team, which is what Ryan wants to do. He wants to get into the middle of the team. Cannot, you know, she's even stronger against him. And then on top of that, she got a bit more range in her kit, which adds for a lot of flexibility. I think it means that she can start also comboing with her spear from further away. So yeah, pretty big buffs for Orisa. Not sure if I'm happy to see it, but it is what it is. I'm not going to complain. I think she might need her little season or a little bit of love. Now on support category, Kiriko nerfs. I think that the invulnerability is very over-focused from her kit. I like that they're reducing the duration. Absolutely cool. It's still going to be very obnoxious, but I still, for a long time, have believed that her ultimate is one of the most broken ultimates in the game. Just because of the way that Overwatch works, it's a resource-driven game. Abilities, cooldowns, right? Those are the things that are balancing a team fight. You expend it, you use it, you played your card, and it cycles. It's their turn, your turn. So let's just throw down a Kiriko ult that gives massive movement speed and also just gives you infinite Zarya bubbles, infinite hooks, infinite... You shoot more quick. I mean, it still blows my mind how people are not seeing how this is one of the most broken ultimates in the game. It is absolutely bonkers. And people are complaining about Ramatra ult. Maybe I have a little tangent about that real quick. Yeah, it's definitely really overpowered in overtime, but his kit is built around his ult because he's so bread and buttery. So Kiriko's ult is not built around her kit. She's got TP, she's got a headshot amplifier for her DPS, she's got the invuln, and then she's got this insane ultimate for her team to like give her the supporty feel on top of really consistent good healing. Yeah, whatever. I would like to see... I'm comfortable with her being meta. Please get rid of Roadhog. Please. But that leads us on to Ana, who got absolutely overshadowed by Kiriko. And they're buffing her damage output from 70 to 75, which is like almost a nod to ML7, who's specifically saying like, we want the support category to do more damage. We want to have impact, right? So support players, I'm sure you're happy. I know you love Ana. I love Ana. Vital grenade, 3 to 4 seconds. Well, okay. I mean, yeah, it's an impactful ability. It's got a decently short cooldown. I just looked it up. It was 10 seconds. For some reason, I thought it was 15 or 16. Call me crazy. I think I was thinking of Sleep Dart, actually, now that I think about it. Either way, I'm going to be getting hit by a lot of those. It did feel kind of underwhelming, sorry. And it'll give her a lot more carry potential. So, good changes. I mean, is anybody really going to complain about an Ana meta? I don't think so. I'm not personally. Speaking of Roadhog, yeah, well, they said that they weren't touching him because of some issues of updates, and nobody wants to touch Roadhog players, or sorry, Roadhog anyway, so completely understandable, Blizzard. But they are going to massively change him coming up in January, so I'm really looking forward to that. Just keep in mind that Ramatra does get countered by Hog and Doom, and those are, you know, he's still going to be pretty meta, so because of that, Ramatra might feel underwhelming on release, but every character sort of has their matchups, so don't get discouraged. Grind him, play him. If you want some quick tips for Ramatra, just as a little bonus, the best way I would play him is to really just farm. Get your ult up as soon as possible. Play your distances. Nemesis form then, when they are out of position, you know, hold your space, hold your ground. Don't be afraid to give it up. Get somebody, catch them in the open space away from corners. Then commit your resources. Then commit your tools. Now with the movement speed buff, it's going to be even crazier. I can't wait. Much love, everyone. Thank you for listening. I appreciate it so much. And have a beautiful day. And I'll see you whenever there's something to talk about.